We're asked to factor to solve each quadratic equation, and here we're going to use the zero factor property to find our solutions. Well, we see here in the first one that it's already been factored for us. So using the zero factor property, or as I like to call it, the principle of zero products, we have these two items being multiplied and they equal 0. So when we think about this, one or the other must be 0, because that's the only way that we will get 0 in the first place. So to answer this kind of a question, you simply set up each equal to 0. So take the first one, x minus 5 equal to 0, and then take the second one, 2x minus 7 equal to 0. So this is important, that it's equal to 0. X minus 5 equals 0. Well, that goes back to a very simple equation that we solved way back when. We add 5 to both sides. This cancels here, so x equals 5. And then we have 2x minus 7 equal to 0, so we're going to add 7 to both sides. This cancels. We end up with 2x equal to 7. Divide both sides by 2. So, therefore, x equals 7/2. So, you might see your answer written like this. X equals 5, comma, and then 7/2. So, that's one way that you'll typically see an answer written. Now, looking at the next example, 3x squared equals 6x. Well, notice first off that it's not equal to 0, and that is exactly what we want. We want it equal to 0. So what I'm going to do first is subtract 6x from both sides. Doing so, I end up with 0 on the right hand side. So I end up with 3x squared minus 6x equal to 0. Now, I'm going to factor this right here. I notice that I can factor using the GCF. So the GCF here happens to be a 3 and an x. So factoring out 3x, inside I'm left with an x and minus 2. And now, of course, it all equals 0. So now using the principle of zero products, or the zero factor property, I set each equal to 0. So 3x equals 0, and x minus 2 equals 0. So if 3x equals 0, then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So x would have to equal 0 in this case. And for x minus 2 to equal 0, well, I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So then x must be equal to 2. So you may see your answer written like this, x equals 0, comma, 2. So it's either 0 or 2. That's the only way we'll get a product of 0 here. So we have solved the given equations by using the zero factor property.